Okay, cool. So fitness training online, the lifestyle approach. So the reason I picked this topic is over the last 12 months, I've been doing a lot of training during the lockdown because the gyms have been closed. They've been like open, closed, open, closed, open, closed. And it was kind of like a learning period for a lot of trainers as well, and for clients. At the start, what I was doing was I was doing training on Facebook and Instagram. So it was like free training for a few weeks while the lockdown was happening, and we were all still really uncertain about what was going to happen moving forward. And eventually I started doing paid training online with the clients I had in the gym, and I done it through Zoom. And what I noticed was that for the first kind of couple of weeks, or definitely lockdown 1 and maybe a little bit of lockdown 2, there was motivation there to keep training and keep in shape. But the training only wasn't really enough for the clients to keep them motivated. If like by just training, it wasn't really enough for them to stay in shape. They needed to have all the other angles that implicate your kind of well-being. So we started looking at a lifestyle approach. Myself and my colleague Mikey, we kind of met up last June, and we started having a chat about more beginner clients that are struggling, like busy ladies that want to get in shape and stuff like that. And what we kind of decided was, okay, they need something in terms of nutrition. They need something that's going to help them with their exercise, which we were able to specialize in. Then they need someone to kind of hit them with mindset and get them motivated and focusing on goals. So we got a mindset coach in as well. We needed to look at their accountability. So staying on track, like looking at different foods and stuff, and tracking their progress with their steps, all that kind of stuff. And they needed lots of support around them. So we kind of picked 5 pillars that we thought were really, really important for online training. And once we got the clients to kind of implement that and started, focusing on all those different areas, that's when they really started making huge progress and getting results. So that's the reason why I picked fitness training online, the lifestyle approach. And I really think it's something that works for definitely for trainers. Once you take that kind of holistic approach as well, it's really, really important, because if it's just a case of showing up 2 to 3 times a week and just doing the training, what your client is doing outside of those hours, if the diet is poor, if they're not moving very much, if they're not taking time for themselves, it can really have an impact on their overall goals. So you could be really having them kill it in the gym and push really hard or train really hard online, but if they're not doing all those other elements properly, then the results that they're going to get aren't going to be good enough. So whether you're looking at this as a trainer, or even if you're looking at this as someone that wants to get fitter and stronger, you need to be implementing all of these across the board if you want to get really, really good results. So I'm just going to try and switch that one over. So a quick look at the table of content. It's going to go really quickly, guys. I've only got an hour with you. So the background, I'm going to chat about my background very briefly. I'm going to talk about online training delivery. I'm going to show you about the lifestyle approach and the 5 key pillars. And I'm going to get you guys at that point to be a little bit interactive. And I'm going to stop sharing the slideshow, and I'm going to share a Google spreadsheet for you guys so that you can type in some advice as well, some tips as well, and then you'll have a takeaway for yourself. When the hour is over, you can save that spreadsheet yourself, and I'm going to stop the edits after we finish the course today, because you'll have a takeaway there that you can use for yourself moving forward, whether you're a trainer or whether you're a client. So yeah, and if there's any questions at any point, just pop it there in the chat as well. Just popping that one down. Okay. Yeah, so any questions, just pop them in the chat. Okay. So I'm going to chat a little bit about my background first. So I'm in the industry since 2004. I started my studies off in Sligo IT 17 years ago. Initially, when I started, I was very passionate about fitness growing up. I played for sports teams. I was into swimming and all that kind of stuff. And I really was more focused on the kind of swimming side of things in the earlier stages of my career, focusing on like swimming lessons, competitive swimming, one-to-one swimming, school swimming, that kind of stuff. I worked like in Sligo Regional Sports Complex, and then I worked in Mulranny Park just for a short time, getting experiences as I was growing. And then I was lucky enough to manage Ely Leisure Centre for 8 years as well, from I think it was 2011 to 2019. I also got to work with lots of sports teams. So through my involvement with sports, I started coaching teams as well. So I coached a lot of my local teams, and then I was lucky enough to coach with the Mayo minors as well for a year in 2017, involved in kind of strength and conditioning and then performance coaching on the pitch as well. So I was really fond of the coaching and helping people kind of improve themselves. So kind of throughout that journey, in 2015, I started off a company called Myfitness Training Limited. So Myfitness was founded by myself and my colleague Mikey Sweeney, and kind of our focus was on getting clients to look better, feel better, just be happy in the body they're in, and just strive for improvement all the time. So initially we started with outdoor classes, and it kept growing from there. We opened a gym a couple of years ago, and right now we're training online, and we've grown it to a kind of an online platform where we have another business called the Ladies Lifestyle Academy. So the Ladies Lifestyle Academy is, as I mentioned at the very start, it's for really busy ladies that want to get in shape, that don't have time for themselves, and want to get fitter, stronger, and happier in their mind and body. So yeah, that's just a little snapshot of what I've been doing the last few years. And obviously I'm a general manager of ProFi Fitness School. So what that entails really is the day-to-day operations of the business. So I'm liaising with all of the tutors and presenters that you're going to see that are working for ProFi. There's a lot of them are presenting on this conference as well over the next few days. And also I take the personal trainer assessments. So anyone that's looking to qualify as a personal trainer, when it comes to their final exams, I'm responsible for assessing their techniques and the way that they coach, and to make sure that their performance is worthy of passing the certificate that's accredited by Reps Ireland as well. So yeah, that's just a little snapshot of my background in the industry. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to chat to you about the online training delivery. So I've used a couple of photos of the coaching teams I have for both. So on the left, I have some of the Myfitness coaching team there. I've got myself, Mikey and James that do the online coaching at the minute. And on the right, I've got Siobhan and Marie, and Siobhan and Marie are also going to be presenting, I think, tomorrow for the fitness conference as well. So Marie is a mindset coach. She has her own business, the Edge Coach, as well. And she's a mindset coach on the Ladies Lifestyle Academy. And then we have Siobhan, who is a nutritionist for the Ladies Lifestyle Academy. And she also has her own business, Food Fitness Fertility as well. So what I would say on that one for any trainers that are watching today, it's really, really important that you have a strong coaching team around you. You know, if you're doing it on your own, that's absolutely fine, but it just means you're going to be a hell of a lot busier trying to get through all the clients that you need to help. So if you can get a really good, strong team around you, it will help you in terms of the support you can give your clients. And also for someone that's kind of looking in as a client, it's really good to have a broader kind of coaching team, because you're going to hear a lot of different opinions and a lot of different types of coaching that's going to help you grow as a person as well in the long run. So what's important about the online training delivery is the delivery that you use. So I talked about using Facebook, Instagram, and we also use YouTube at the start, things like that. You need to find a platform that's going to work really well. And what I find with like Facebook, Instagram, those kind of things, is that you can't actually see the client that's taking part with you. So there's not really any personal interaction there. So you're losing that if you don't use something like team meetings or Google Hangouts or Zoom. So you do need something that's got that face-to-face element as well, I feel. And it does add to the as I said, the personal touch, because then you can look at your clients' techniques, you can see if they're doing it correctly. They can also follow you and get instant feedback as well. And there's the chatting function like we have here on the webinar as well. So it's really, really useful. The online software we use LegitFit. So LegitFit, we started using it very recently. I've got Ryan on at 11:30 this morning. Ryan is the founder of LegitFit, and I was in touch with him. This started a couple of months back that I wanted to start using the software, and some of my clients have started using it now, and it is very, very easy to use from a client perspective, because all you're doing is you're clicking in and you're joining straight away. You're not searching for like links or passwords on Zoom, so it does make things a lot kind of more user friendly as well, which is good. And there are other options out there, such as Trainerize and TrueCoach that I've tried in the past. I also tried My PT Hub, but I would just say that in terms of integration with Zoom, LegitFit probably works the best there for any trainers that are looking to use it. Also for the online training delivery, you need to have a really good coaching hub. So we've set up a coaching hub on the private Facebook groups, and it gives our clients a platform where they can share like their daily kind of struggles, their daily wins, their daily meals, stuff like steps is done. If they're getting a run in, they're putting all those photos up. And what you start doing is you start growing a big kind of community support hub where people are supporting each other. It's not just the coaches that are having that kind of influence on the client. It's the whole, it's their peers as well. It's everyone taking part. So it kind of makes it a much, much better service if it's all kind of streamlined on one platform. In the past, we tried doing it on WhatsApp, but it didn't really work as well. You can do it on the stuff I've mentioned earlier, like if you're using Trainerize or TrueCoach or any of those, you can try that as well. It wouldn't be as user-friendly as Facebook because, let's be honest, an awful lot of people are on Facebook, so they're very familiar with how the platform works. So it's probably the best one to use as a trainer and also as a client. In terms of your time frame, then it's probably best like if you break all of your training into little like programs of 4 weeks, 8 weeks, or 12 weeks. So you usually see something like 30 days, 60 days, 90-day programs. For ourselves, we use the first two. We use 4 weeks. We use kind of month to month with our in-fitness clients because it's really good. It keeps the training fresh and you're kind of constantly reviewing your training methods and refocusing your goals. 8 weeks is ideal for the Ladies Lifestyle Academy because it gives them enough time to kind of learn all those new habits and behaviors that they need in order to carry them through in terms of their lifestyle after they finish the program. So we find 8 weeks is ideal. We haven't ran any 90-day programs, probably for the reason that over 90 days, it is quite a long time and it's difficult to stay motivated without that freshness to the training. But definitely the benefits of doing a 12-week training program would be that the results can be even stronger as long as you can keep your clients on track and keep them focused. And there's absolutely no reason why you couldn't run a 12-week training program as well as a coach, but the upfront cost becomes more for your clients as well. So it's kind of finding that balance that suits you as a trainer as well. Schedule of delivery then. So whether you're a client that wants to get in shape and you're trying to get fitter and stronger, you need to look at training with a personal trainer that's going to be very, very clear on how those workouts are going to be delivered to you, when they're going to happen, if it's just going to be workout recordings or if you're going to get them delivered directly to you online. If there's going to be check-ins, when are the check-ins? Does your coach check in with you or is it just a case of dropping them a message whenever you're struggling? And when are the contact times? So are you going to be able to chat to your clients or chat to your coach like 24/7 all week, or is there certain times that you can contact them, like say 6 to 9 in the evenings or morning times 9 to 12 or whatever? It needs to be very, very clear, because if there's like a gap in terms of the expectation you have as a client and what your trainer is going to give you, then you're going to end up disappointed. And much the same as well for your coach, or if you're a personal trainer, if your client isn't going to kind of meet up with the training times and the plan you've set them, then they're not going to get the results that they want either. So you need to be really, really clear from the start in terms of what's the delivery of your course and what's your contact times, when are the check-ins. And if you're clear and your client's very clear on this, then obviously you're in a really strong place to deliver them the best results that they can get as a client. So I'm going to move on to the lifestyle approach for clients. So the reason, as I said, that we chose this was I had the experience myself of seeing what worked and what didn't work over the last 12 months. And in the earlier stages, the training on its own worked very, very well. But what I find is you need to be kind of bringing almost every aspect to your client that they need in order to move forward. So results are hugely important. I've used a couple of pictures from my local gym, local groups that I've used there. So results are hugely important because as a trainer, they either make you or break you. If the results for your clients are not good, if they're kind of crappy results, then your clients aren't going to be happy. It means you're going to have to market more. You're going to have to work harder. And there's also something not working in your program. It's either a case of the client isn't implementing what you're showing them, or else the knowledge that you're putting and imparting on them, it's just not good enough. The training is not good enough. So you always have to really strive to keep your clients on track. So really, really, you have to emphasize that they implement everything that you're showing them, because if they're not, then there's going to be a lag in the results and they're not going to be good enough. So I just can't stress enough as a trainer, any trainers that's on here today will know this exactly themselves. Results are your number one thing in your business, because if you're not getting results, you're not going to be able to grow your business. So results are absolutely key. So that's why one of the main reasons why we chose a lifestyle approach for our clients. Exercise is only one element. So as I said, absolutely huge. And I think you would have noticed it definitely more in recent years. When I started in the industry first, it was a case of people would come to the gym and they'd train maybe 2-3 times a week. And that would be it. They'd come in and do their 45 minutes or hour or whatever, and they'd go through the motions. Then they'd go home and they'd eat whatever they wanted to eat. They'd kind of consume whatever they wanted to consume. And they wouldn't move again until the next day they came to the gym, which could be 2 or 3 days later. And like I suppose the mindset at that time would be, okay, I'm going to the gym 3 times a week, so I'm fit, I'm staying in shape. But all the other things that they were doing outside of the gym were neglecting their results, such as their sleep, their nutrition, and they weren't making time for themselves, they weren't journaling their progress, they weren't staying accountable. So like in one sense, they were setting a goal of whatever they wanted to achieve, lose weight or do something like that. But at the same time, everything else they were doing in terms of their behaviors and habits was neglecting their goal. So it's very, very important to realize as a trainer as well that exercise is only one element of what your client is doing. There's a lot of other things they need to be doing as well. And you won't just be hearing this from my own chat this morning. You're going to hear this from other coaches as well, all about mindset, things like nutrition, things that really your client needs to implement outside of the gym as well in order to stay on track. And the last one then is sustainable. So whatever habits and behaviors your clients are building in the coming days and weeks and months when they're doing their training programs, it absolutely has to be sustainable. It can't be a case that they start off training 5 or 6 times a week and really like cutting everything out of their diet and just really going cold turkey and everything. Because if it's not sustainable for them, they'll really like push hard for a couple of months, maybe 2 months, 3 months, and then they'll just get burnt out and fed up. So it's really, really important for you as a trainer that you give them something that's sustainable in the long term that they can stay on track with. It's enough to help them meet their goals, but they also have a life outside of the fitness and the training as well. They need to be able to do things that they enjoy and things that contribute to their well-being in the long term as well. So sustainability is a huge one as well there. Okay, I'm going to get the next one up. So at this point, I'm just going to talk about all the 5 elements we've just mentioned. So we've got the accountability, we've got the nutrition, we've got mindset, exercise, and support. So these are the ones that I think are absolutely key as a trainer. And what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to stop sharing the slideshow. So I'll give you a little bit of a break from that. And I'm going to start sharing a Google spreadsheet. So if you just bear with me for about 30 seconds, I'm just going to get that link up. And I'm going to be looking for you guys to give me a hand with this one as well. Okay, so let me just put this up for everyone. Okay, so if anyone's got a spare device or if you're on a desktop or that, you're going to be able to edit as we're doing this as well, edit as we go. And the only section I want you to focus on to start, I've left these columns all blank because I wanted us to fill them out as we go, is the accountability section. Okay, so let me just get that screen back a little bit. Okay, so the first one I'm going to talk to you about is accountability. And if you guys could pop in for me, things that you think that affect your client's accountability, or if you're a client yourself, like what would help you in terms of your accountability to keep you on track. Okay, so just try and get that spreadsheet up, guys. I'm going to see, is anyone on it yet? And I might just pop 1 or 2 in here myself just to get us started. I'll screen share it as well, actually. That'll probably make it easier for you guys to understand. Okay, so this is the spreadsheet you're going to see when you go up. It's left blank for the time being. So accountability, one of the things we do here at Fitness and Ladies Lifestyle Academy would be the check-in. Check-in is a hugely important one. So checking in with your clients online makes it a lot more, makes them a lot more accountable for themselves, keeps them more motivated, and it allows you to see how they're progressing throughout the week. Brilliant. I can actually see some of you have got the file there now. So yeah, you guys can start adding to accountability as well if you see it. But check-ins are hugely important. So what I do with my clients and some of my coaches is we meet every week. On a Friday, we meet for the Ladies Lifestyle Academy, so LLA. So we have a meeting with those ladies this evening and we talk about the week they've had. What did they struggle with? Was it their foods? Did they miss out on exercise? Did they have a great week? Sometimes you have a great week and all you need to do is just chat about it and acknowledge your progress. Did you struggle with anything in particular? Was there something like a personal event that set you back? But the check-ins are great because they give your client a chance to vent and talk about their progress. And it also helps them to learn from their lessons and move forward. So they're learning the whole time as they progress throughout the program. Another good one for accountability, I'm just going to pop it in here as well. Okay, so client log is another one that could be used. So your client log would be what we use is an Excel spreadsheet. You can use a Google spreadsheet as well, because the beauty of the Google spreadsheet is it can be constantly updated and your client can see it and you can see it. But what we're looking at in our client logs are things like your daily steps. Did you do any form of exercise today? Did you do one of our online workouts? Did you do a workout recording? Did you do a strength training? Did you do anything with your flexibility, mobility, just stretching? Looking at your macros, looking at your nutrition in terms of Myfitnesspal would be the most popular one that we would use and encourage our clients to use because it's very user friendly. It's got the little barcode scanner as well, so it makes it very, very helpful in terms of tracking the foods as well. So I suppose I'll actually pop that one in as well here, Myfitnesspal. And all of these kinds of things as a client as well. Like if you're checking in once a week with your coach, if you're filling in those client logs, if you're tracking your foods, what you're doing is you're learning new behaviors, you're building new habits. And once you start building those new habits, you're going to start progressing. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat there again. One sec. Can't write it in, but I'm listening. Yeah, no problem. Perfect. Yeah, that's fine, guys. It's okay if you're not able to get in on this. I'll keep typing it up, and you can even pop them in the chat there. Actually, it might be easier in the chat. I'm just checking what I've got shared there again. I've gone off. Where are we here? This one. Yeah, and we'll go for maybe one more in accountability. So the daily posting would be a huge one. So daily posting. So if you're on as I mentioned, the Facebook coaching hub, or if you've got a coaching hub, if you're posting the whole time to a group, you find that you're accountable, you feel more obligated to reach your daily targets. So usually what we're doing every day, every time we're working out, is we're kind of asking, what's your target today? What are you doing today? It might be, I want to get out and do a 5K. It might be, I want to hit 12,000 steps. It might be, I want to stay on track with my meals today. I'm going to post my 3 meals. But if at the end of the day, if you can do a daily post of all these things of what you've achieved, as a client, you're going to feel like, okay, I've done that today, and there's going to be a sense of accomplishment. You're going to be proud of yourself, and then you're making that progress moving forward. And as a coach, if you see your clients daily posting, you know that they're engaging the whole time. You know that they're putting the effort in, they're making that progress. So daily posting is a really, really important one for you and for your clients as well. Okay, we're going to look at nutrition next. So for nutrition, Myfitnesspal would be the first one, the go-to for most trainers. So obviously we'd strongly encourage that one. Sorry guys, I'm just constantly checking this chat as well. Okay, so the nutrition, yeah, Myfitnesspal, definitely the go-to for trainers. You can track your calories, your macros, there's barcode scanners. There is like parts as well where you can input your daily steps and your exercise as well. But I don't feel it's that accurate, having kind of talked to people about it that have used it. But for the food tracking, it's a very, very useful way for you to build habits and start learning about the foods you're eating and how they're impacting on you in terms of your goals. So definitely, I couldn't recommend that one highly enough. The meal posting, as I said, so the meal posting, the benefit of that is that not only are you posting your own stuff for the day, but you're learning new recipes that you're seeing from other people as well. Other clients are putting up their foods. So like if you've got a particular, if you're, for example, if you're a vegan and there's certain foods that you can't have, you'll be able to get recipes from someone else in the group that's in the similar situation as yourself. And it's just really good for breakfast, for dinners, for lunches, all that kind of stuff. You're going to get inspiration the whole time when you're in a big group like that. So it's a very, very helpful way of doing it. And as I said, like once you start posting your own stuff, you tend to be more self-conscious about the foods you're eating as well. So it keeps you on track as well, even either as a trainer or as a client as well. So it's definitely a very useful one. And the last one that a lot of nutritionists go to, sorry, I didn't type those first two in, guys. Started talking too much. Okay, so there was Myfitnesspal. And then we had the meal posting. And another very popular one then would be, for someone that's not into the technology as much, just a simple food journal. So journaling your foods, and maybe at the end of the week, then sending those foods on to your coaches, or if you're a coach, encouraging them to keep a food journal so that you can see what kind of changes you can make or where they're struggling. It's just another way of doing it. You can just use like a notepad and a pen, and it just makes it a little bit easier than Myfitnesspal. If technology is not really your thing or your client's thing, it's a good way of doing it as well. Okay, cool. So we're going to look at mindset next. So for mindset, I'll just get the screen shared actually, and we can put them down again in a second. So I'm just going to get my slideshow back up, stop the screen share. Okay, so for mindset, just play it from the current slide. Okay, so for the mindset, there's a lot of different areas that you should be focusing on. As I said, Marie does the mindset coaching for us, and she's absolutely excellent at it. But there's lots of different areas that you need to kind of collaborate with in your client in order to achieve the goals. So absolutely crucial would be behaviors and habits. So one of the things I talked about a few weeks ago on the LLA was behavior stacking. It was mentioned on James Smith's podcast I listened to. It was one of his latest ones. It was one of his last 3 podcasts. But behavior stacking is like where you stack a new behavior around a behavior that you do all the time, that you don't mind doing, that you enjoy. So a good one for you would be something like in the morning you get up and brush your teeth. So the next thing you could do is to bring in a new behavior that's positive on yourself. Would be something like, okay, I'll spend 2 minutes meditating, or I'll spend a couple of minutes stretching out this morning, or doing something that's contributing towards your goal. Another behavior that you could use in behavior stacking would be like, in the evenings you might need to get out for a run. So you might do such a thing as, okay, I'm going to grab my, whatever it's going to be, my green tea, my coffee, whatever. But once I've done that, I'm going to leave my runners close to the door or close to where I can get them. I'm going to go out and I'm going to do an evening walk or an evening run. And you're constantly kind of stacking all these new behaviors that's going to help you to make improvements to your life in the long term. So behavior stacking is a huge one. And all of these little things that you're doing are like new habits that you're kind of learning that you can implement in the long term that's going to help you towards your goals. All those little things like the food journaling, the meditation, any of that kind of stuff, or even the exercises, all those little habits that you're doing every day, the more that you implement those, the more that you're going to get results. If you keep writing about them but don't follow through in them, then you're not going to get results. And it's even like what you're doing today, like any of the content that you're consuming from myself or from any of the other coaches, and this knowledge that you're going to get, or this, this information you're receiving today, and whatever you find useful to you, if you don't kind of put it into practice over the next couple of weeks and months, then it's going to be kind of useless to you. You need to kind of start really putting this into practice, especially if you're a client that's looking today at getting in shape. What can you do different in your lifestyle? All of these things are going to be really, really important, but you have to start implementing them if you want to get the results that you crave. Goals. So goal setting are brilliant, and really defining your kind of why and why you want to get in shape, why you want to achieve whatever it is. Like goals need to be something that's not just short term and, like I want to lose a stone in 5 or 6 weeks, that kind of stuff. There needs to be a deeper meaning. So if you're a trainer, you need to get deeper with your client. You need to know what their why is, and you need to keep asking why when you're talking to them the first time. So you can really focus on what's the real reason, what's setting them off. Is it because they're not happy with how they look in the mirror? Do they feel uncomfortable in the clothes they're in? Are they struggling like to have time for themselves or make time for themselves? They're just kind of overwhelmed with lots of young kids in the house. They could be fed up with lockdown, all that stuff. You need to get to the deepest part of your client's kind of problem before you can start to solve it. Because if you don't go deep at the start, if you just go in and talk to your client or talk to them online, they say, oh, I want to drop 6 pounds or 10 pounds. Okay, I'll help you with that. That's not really going to help solve the problem. You need to go a little bit deeper with your client. You need to see, well, why do you want to drop the 10 pounds? How's it going to make you feel? So keep going deep, and that will help you with the goals. Positive attitude is huge. So it's really, really important that you stay positive, whether you're the client or the trainer. Positivity is definitely going to, it's definitely contagious and infectious. And if you surround yourself with those type of people, then you're all going to kind of contribute to achieving better things for yourself and better things for the whole group. So I couldn't recommend a positive attitude enough. I know that Mikey, my colleague as well, one of the things he always says is, even if he's not in a good mood, he tries to make it his effort to like smile to himself in the morning for a couple of minutes. And even something like that, like smiling to yourself for a couple of minutes, it does make you feel better inside, and then you start to kind of feel more positive in yourself. So it's so important that you do that, because those negative thoughts and those doubts you have in your head, they can really affect you. So it is really, really important that you, even the content that you're consuming on a daily basis, like if you're looking at like news stories about COVID the whole time and all this negativity with Brexit and things like that, then obviously you're going to feel like a more negative person. So it is very important, even the consumable content that you take in, that you kind of stay positive the whole time and try and listen to things that are going to affect your life in a positive manner as well. Stress and anxiety. So for stress and anxiety, it is probably better to tackle these things head on, like writing them down, journaling about them. How are you going to deal with them? If you kind of leave them there and bury your head in the sand, and it's going to keep kind of seeping away at you and making you feel worse and worse. So it's really important that you stay on top of those things as well. So if you can help, like if you're a coach and you can help your client get clearer in the way that they want to move forward, then obviously that's going to be a huge help to them, because it's going to take a weight off their shoulders. So if you can avoid like having that stress and anxiety, then you're going to have a much stronger mindset that's going to help you achieve your goals as well. And motivation is a crucial one. It's something you're not going to have every morning when you wake up. You're not going to wake up every day like hugely motivated. There's going to be days where you struggle as well. And you know, there's so many things that can affect motivation. Like people can say, I'm not motivated because I just, you know, I'm too lazy, can't be bothered, whatever the reason is. But it's all the motivation it's not just a case of it coming from inside as well. Like the foods you're taking, the sleep you're getting, like all those other things, the exercise you're doing, they're all going to contribute to your motivation, because your energy levels are going to be higher if you're eating better. If you're sleeping better, you're going to not feel as tired, you're going to have more energy. If you're training, it releases those endorphins as well, and you just feel more positive and more pumped, more energized. So it's not just it's a combination of everything. And the more that you're disciplined and that you keep implementing these things, then the more motivated you're going to feel as a client. And obviously as a trainer, then it's your job to try and help them with that as well. So as I said, mindset is an absolutely huge area. And it's one I'm looking forward to listening to as well over the next couple of days. We've got Anya and Marie discussing it as well over the coming days. So definitely tune into those chats as well, guys. Okay, I'm going to go back to exercise. Just stop the screen share again. We'll hop back to my spreadsheet. Okay, let's share it up again. So yeah, so I'm just going to quickly fill in those mindset ones so you guys have it again for later. So things like behavior, habits, stress and anxiety, motivation, you can pop them and you can edit stuff around this, as I said later on. And so the next one I'm going to look at is the exercise. So how can you impact your clients in terms of moving more, in terms of exercise? I want you guys now to, the spreadsheet doesn't seem to be working too good for me at the minute. So I want you guys to pop it in on the spreadsheet or on the chat for me, guys. Thanks, Teresa. It's a great spreadsheet. Yeah, it's all the kind of main basics. So pop in there, guys. Exercise wise, I just want to start getting some of your feedback. So the spreadsheet obviously isn't working too well for you, but just pop it in the chat instead. How can you impact your client in terms of exercise? What can you get them doing on a daily basis? Or if you're a client, what can you do yourself? What do you think would help in terms of exercise? Fine. Yeah, brilliant. So what they enjoy. Daily steps. Yeah, I've got that one down as well, Amy. Assign exercises that are suitable to them. Brilliant. So we're getting lots of trainers' perspectives here. That's brilliant. What do you think as a client yourself? What do you think? What would help? Time is a huge one, yeah. Because if you don't have the time to do it. Competition of a step count, yeah. Something fun. I'm actually going to be chatting about that shortly, Sharon. You've hit the nail on the head with that one. Cardio, mobility, foam rolling, fun activities with family and friends. Yeah. Online workouts, time. Brilliant. Yeah, you can keep popping them in there, guys. I'll just be filling them out as I'm reading them there. So time, lifestyle. I think you guys have hit most of the ones I have in my slideshow. Anyway, I'll check them in a second. Daily steps. Daily steps have gone very, very popular. Fitness tracking as well. Just want to check that. Cardio. My spreadsheet up again. Where is it gone? Here it is. Okay. Good basis on how to do certain exercise and the benefit behind it. Yeah, Sharon, that's a big one. Flexibility and mobility, and it's definitely one of the most neglected ones. It's kind of the kind of way you should be. By doing this, obviously you get more flexible, more mobile, but you're helping prevent injury and you're helping with your recovery. So that's a really, really overlooked one, I think, definitely. We've got daily steps down, and we've got online workouts, yeah. Online or in the gym, wherever you're going to be doing the training, definitely. Outdoor, I seen one of the comments there from Amy. She's doing a chat about the benefits of outdoor kind of nature walking, good for your mindset as well. Like the exercise, it's not just good for your body. You have to remember the exercise has a huge impact on your mind as well. So I would definitely say, like, outside exercise, definitely try and get outside a couple of times a week. Jennifer, support like LLA, for example, no pressure attitude. Yeah, that would be, once we come to support, Jennifer, that's very true. Jennifer is actually, I think Jennifer is one of our LLA clients at the minute, so she can definitely relate to that one. Yeah, good basis on how to do certain exercises. I think there's someone not muted there. So Adita or Yara, could you just check that for me, make sure everyone's muted? Good basis, online workouts, time, what are their goals? Enjoyment. Okay, I'm going to just pick maybe one or two more and I'm going to move on, but I can see that all the trainers here have a very good idea of this already. Back. Yeah, I would say the outdoor cardio is a big one as well. It's quite enjoyable. Like cycling, swimming, walking, any of that kind of stuff that's going to contribute in terms of your steps as well. Let's have a look at this one. When it comes to daily steps, I recommend involving your family or friends. I made a table with the daily limit for myself and my household. Everyone has their own limit depending on how advanced they are, but each of us enters our number of steps every day. It's super motivating and fun. I recommend it. Yeah, 100%. I've seen it with the group. We set a monthly target of whatever it was, 10 million steps. And the guys absolutely smashed it. And I think definitely setting little targets like that, it makes you feel a little bit more competitive in the evenings, but it gets you up and it gets you moving, even if it's not a full workout. Like obviously workout itself, you can get the benefits of the strength aspect of it as well, or whatever type of training you're doing. But yeah, it's really important. As long as you're moving, just keep moving, whatever it is, you need to be moving daily. So a daily steps challenge or something like that, brilliant. Yeah, that's a great one. And when you're getting the family involved, it makes it so much more fun as well. So that's a great one. Ilona, I think it is. So that's a great tip. Okay. And you guys can be, as I said, add to the spreadsheet later on, or any ideas that you've heard today, just make a note of them there and you can use them later on. I'm going to move on to support. Okay, so support. I'll stay in this section again. I'm going to get you guys to pop it in for me. So just on the support, in terms of support for all the participants this morning, how do you feel you can support your clients, or where are they going to get their support from? Or if you're a client, where do you hope to receive your support from? So I see Jennifer put one up there earlier, support like the LLA, for example, no pressure attitude. So for Jennifer, like the support she'd be getting would be from the entire group of ladies that are in the coaching hub, or, I'm just reading another comment, sorry. Richard, WhatsApp is constantly being used. Yeah, that's a good one. So you're seeing like any type of a group setting is really good. So WhatsApp is a good one. You can give lots of feedback there. Any other means of support, guys? Not just in terms of the platform, but where are you getting that support from? Who's giving you the support? Is it just your coach? Agreed time for them to contact you, or for you to contact them? Yeah. So that's coming back to your logistics at the start. So that's a good one, Alison, as long as you're just really clear at the start. Group Zoom sessions, yeah. Family. So Mike Malloy there. Yeah, we do the group Zooms and they're really, really beneficial. They're the ones I was talking about on the check-ins earlier. Because you're getting your coach's feedback, you're getting your group feedback, and you're all kind of working together and you're all striving for everyone's improvement. Family, yeah, I was wondering when someone's going to say that, because and this is for both ways. Like as a trainer, you need support from your family, because those are the guys that are going to give you the time to help make the time for your clients. Like if you're a trainer and you've got young kids and stuff like that, it's not always easy to get that time for your clients. So you need the support of your wife, your husband, or whoever's going to be there, or your parents, to give you that help as well. And then if you're a client on the journey, it's the flip side. Like you're going to still need that support. Like if you're eating really healthy and you're wanting to move more, it's much better for you if your kids are in on board with you and you're making it fun for the family. And if your husband or your wife, if they're joining in with you as well, it definitely makes your journey a lot more, because when you have that kind of doubt and negativity, it just doesn't help moving forward with that. Definitely. Jennifer, support from home too. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Zara, from your group and trainers, no pressure, positive comments. Brilliant, guys. Yeah. Always available. No such thing as 24/7. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Richard. Yeah, like I suppose you can always try and be available. Like what we have, I think within fitness, what we've done is we set up an automated message that if we're not there right now, we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So they know that you're definitely going to deal with them as soon as you can. Coaching hub, reward-based tasks, biggest, yeah, those types of things as well. When you do those little challenges and stuff, they definitely kind of help you push harder and push more. So that's a good one. And the 4-week block, I agree with, because it's short term. It kind of, you keeps training fresh. So that's a good one, Siobhan. Lisa, surround yourself with like-minded people. Yeah, so we have an active April group now, and actually Lisa's one of the members in it. So yeah, that's the exact thing we're talking about. Having a group of lots of people that are all trying to strive for the same thing. So regardless of what community you're from, like my community is Aeroscale to Mayo, and we're all trying to come together, push together as a group, and keep growing with our training and everything like that. But like, regardless of what trainer you are that's on here, definitely try and do something for your community and your group that's going to help, that you all support each other and all push together. People that are around you. Sorry, I'm going to stop the screen share now, because I'm kind of more intrigued by the comments, because they're very, very helpful. There's some brilliant comments in here, guys. After a training session, it's always good to have a few take-home messages for your clients: sleep, nutrition, all that stuff. Yeah, absolutely, Alison, 100%. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do, even with something simple like this. This spreadsheet is very, very basic and very, very simple. But if you can start putting ideas down and stuff that you want to use yourself moving forward as a trainer or as a client, you have lots and lots of really good ideas. Even from listening to the group here today, looking at the chat, there's so many great tips here. No pressure, positive comments from members. Yeah, I'll pop in maybe 2 or 3 there so that you have them again. And if there's any more, guys, just pop them in. And I can't believe it's 11:15 already. I didn't realize. Okay, getting really good stuff, guys. Always available. Check-ins, coaching hub. I'll just check my own list now, because I think you've covered it all. Coaching community, family, coaches support, your friends. So one of the things I talk about is your strong support network. So your strong support network is like, you identify maybe 3 to 5 people that you think are going to contribute towards your own health and well-being, but you obviously you have to be able to give them something in return. Like for love and support, close and making time, obviously someone very close to you, like husband, wife, close family, all of that, they be in your strong support network. Then you need to look at someone like a coach. So if you're a client, you need to look at someone that's going to be a coach. So for our clients, hopefully they look to myself, Mikey, James, Marie, Siobhan for support. And then you need to look at people like, sorry, I'm just reading again. If there are any negatives, try and work out how to flip it into a learning process or a positive. Yeah. Brilliant, Siobhan. Yeah. But yeah, just for your strong support network, just make sure the people that are in it can all contribute to your life in a positive manner. And the more people you can think of off the top of your head right now, the more people you can think of right now that, okay, I would consider them a really close friend, a close whatever. And the more people you have, the stronger your network is, the stronger it's going to make you as a person, and the easier it is to achieve your goals. If you've got people in your network that aren't serving your needs or, helping you move forward, it's probably best not to have them in that close circle, because the ones in your close circle are the ones that's going to help you grow as a person. So that's a really, really important one as well. Okay, I'm going to I have that screen share off now, but I've edited for you guys. So lots of really good tips there, guys. Thanks very much for that. Okay. So what would you do to people that have already reached their goals? Yeah, for support. Yeah, I understand that, Michelle. So if you like what we do with the LLA, I'll just give you an example. That's what Michelle's referring to. If you've got clients that have already been on the journey and you kind of keep them in your group, it's a great way of doing it, because they can kind of support the new people that are there, and they can tell them about the journey they've been on. It's very, very helpful for you as a coach to have those kind of people. It does make it easier. And Zara says, have fun and enjoy it. Once people feel comfortable with each other, things will be more positive and beneficial. Yeah, very true. Okay, I'm going to get this back up. Play from current slide. Okay, guys, maintaining results. So this is one of the hardest challenges. And you see this so many times with people or clients, that they might do fantastic. They might lose lots of weight. They might get in really good shape. They might get really fit. Like a typical example would be a client might come to you and say, oh, I've got a wedding coming up, or I've got a big party coming up, or I've got something coming up, and I want to lose lots of weight for it. I want to drop a dress size, or I want to get in shape. And then they get to that milestone, and they've never kind of considered beyond that. So they've kind of put a time frame on it, and that's it. Then they're like, okay, I'm there now. That's me. So maintaining results, I would definitely love to see the opinions of the coaches that are in the group today on this. What do you think for maintaining results? Like, I've put a few tips up here and I'll elaborate on them in a second, but from a coaching perspective, any coaches on here, and it's good for the clients to listen into this as well. Any tips? Maintaining results. You know, when your client hits their milestones and then they start to lose a bit of motivation because they're kind of like, what's next? Like, what do you think as a trainer? What would you recommend? And like, obviously, guys, any clients are welcome as well if they've been in that position where they've got to that stage and then they've had to maintain it. How have you maintained it? Just pop it up for me there. Keeping the program exciting. So that's definitely a relevant one, yeah. So keep training fresh, I've put down. So that's definitely the same kind of thing. Periodize year-long scheduled help change plan, yeah. Best way. So figuring out what motivates them, how good they've done so far, yeah. Thanks for that, Richard. Challenges, mini goals. So you've hit your goals. So what do you do next? So yeah, you absolutely 100% have to give yourself a new challenge, because if you don't, you're just going to stagnate and you're going to struggle. For a new target in your life, something new to work towards, yeah. So just maybe one or two more, guys, if you want. Even as a coach there, what do you think yourself? Always showing continuous support and motivation and new challenges. Progression, good. Okay, you can keep popping in the chat and I'll just talk a little bit about my points here. Evaluate goals and improve them. So I talk about a cycles approach here. So cycles approach, what I'm looking at is usually over the course of a year, I've got 6 cycles here because that's roughly what you do for a Ladies Lifestyle Academy. There'd be 5 to 6 of them in a year over an 8-week period. And obviously they're brilliant because you get the training done over the 8 weeks, and then you try and use it moving forward. The cycles approach for Myfitness is slightly different. It's a month-to-month basis. So we're looking at this is probably only half of a year. It shows here, so 6 months of it. And this cycles approach is that every month they hit whatever their milestone is or the target, and then we refresh it. The training's, it's kept fresh. We go back, we set a new challenge. There's new content. We try and bring in some new trainers or coaches to talk to them as well. We had a running coach on last Sunday, and we've got a couple of other guests lined up as well. And if you can keep that content fresh all the time, it keeps your clients motivated, it keeps them interested, because there's nothing worse than just doing the same training over and over and over again, because you're just going to get bored and you're going to get fed up. So it's really important to keep your training as fresh as possible. So like I said, cycles approach, keep the content new, keep the training fresh. I think it was one of the first things that you guys said up there as well. Have a purpose. So always have a purpose. So once you've hit one goal, like if it's to run a 10K, then what's next for you? Do you want to run a mini marathon? Do you want to increase your distance? If you've lost a bit of weight, do you want to start toning up, start getting stronger, start lifting heavier weights? I love this one from Andrew. Let's have a look. New goals. I've been on a weightless journey for the past 5 years, and now my goal is to do a photo shoot. I'm also focusing on changing my relationship with food and also my progression in my weights training. Yeah, that's fantastic, Andrea. And that's a brilliant one. So you've already done the weight loss journey. You've been doing the last 5 years, and now you've set your new goal of a photo shoot. So obviously you're going to really be training hard again and pushing on. So that's excellent. Siobhan, staying in line with your values and what's important to you. Absolutely, yeah. So those values that you've learned throughout, try and stay in line with those. So like your behaviors, your habits that you're building all the time, you need to always come back to them. You need to have those there as your basics and keep coming back to them if you ever kind of slip a little bit or start to slide. So that's a good one from Siobhan. All the effort have been paid. New and different exercises from 5. Yeah, that's the one you just said, Siobhan. That's good. Brilliant. Thanks, Aaron. Evaluate their goals and improve them or change their goals. Excellent. And then gone off track there, haven't I? Where are we gone? This one. Yeah, community-based challenges and always mark your milestones. And I don't know if I see that one up there, but when you hit a milestone, you should absolutely be acknowledging your success and the progress of how far you've come. Because when you put so much effort in something and it means so much to you, you really should be marking it every time you do it. A small example would be, we've been in lockdown for so long now, it's hard to even think of what the dates are, but with LLA, when we finish a program, or even with the last group we done was called March Together, so we all done this challenge of a march together. At the end of the month, we all met up on Zoom for the very last night. And what we done was we just shared stories about, how proud our clients were of themselves and what they'd done for the month and what they'd done so well. And it's the same with the LLA, like, what was your biggest struggle? What did you overcome? And you hear that. And once you say it, you're proud of yourself, and rightly so, you should be. So it's very, very important that you acknowledge your progress and mark your milestones as well, because at the end of the day, you're training hard. You should, take the time out to say, okay, I've done really well there. I pushed very hard there. So, it is important to mark it. Okay, I'm going to share. Where are we here? We're almost there, guys. Growth. So growth is a hugely important one. And that's coming back to what we just talked about there. Just going to get it up here. So we talked about maintaining results, and then the growth of you as a trainer and the growth of you as a client. I shouldn't have shared that. I wanted to hear your opinions first, guys. So yeah, I'll share it again in a second. So I want to hear your opinions. As a client, how can you, grow? How can you grow as a client, or how can you grow as a trainer? So we've loads of trainers on here today. What should we be doing to grow as trainers? What do you think? Pop it in the chat there. As a trainer, what can you do to help yourself in terms of your long-term growth? As a client, what can you do today? Having kind of looked through the slideshow over the last hour, having taken content, having learned from all the people who've put chats up in the group, what helps you moving forward? So Sharon's put learning new skills, and that's relevant to the first point I'd said, the education side of it. Yeah, and education is hugely important to trainers. You should constantly be looking at consuming new knowledge. You should be constantly striving to do updated courses, because you're staying in line with the new trends in the industry. It's keeping you on top of your game. Like, as I said, the ProFi Fitness School, we run courses for trainers all the time. And I know these guys that are on today are constantly updating their training as well. Listening to podcasts is a huge one. Yeah, I find that one brilliant. And the podcast one is a brilliant thing, because you can be out yourself doing a run or a jog. You can be hitting a fitness goal and you can be learning at the same time. Brilliant. Siobhan, working together to share. Yeah, that's a big one. And, a lot of younger trainers, I think when they qualify, they see other trainers as a threat to them, or you're worried about your feeling inferior to them. But it's so much better to collaborate with all those people, like trainers around you, because you're going to pick up new ideas off them, they're going to pick up new ideas off you. And there's so many people out there, you shouldn't be seeing them as a threat or competition, because by chatting and talking to, I even find chatting to the ProFi Fitness School trainers, you learn so much from listening to a different perspective all the time. So definitely as a trainer, you should be really open, have your doors open, and chat to other trainers as well, because you're going to learn a lot. Like, no trainer that's on here knows absolutely everything, so it's so good to take that on board as well. And obviously for clients that are on today as well, it's good to hear different perspectives as well, listen to other trainers. Invest in yourself, be a wealth of information for your client, to be able to explain how to use Myfitness. Yeah, it's really important to have that knowledge. Again, we're coming back to knowledge. Tisha says, engage, share ideas, be accountable, be open to try new things. Trainer swaps, get another trainer to teach your class and you just observe your clients. That's exactly, Siobhan, that's what I was getting at. Learning from other trainers, looking at how they teach, looking at their methods, and then you can implement some of that as well. It can help you. Brilliant. Okay, seems like you've got plenty of information down there. I'm just going to share my one again. So yeah, client. So in terms of your growth, more energy. These are the types of things that you want to constantly strive for that will help you to grow. So that'll come from your sleep, from your foods, from your training, from all that extra moving you're doing. You want to be fitter and stronger. So what you're implementing on a daily basis. Your weights training, you should try and get weights training in all the time as well to get stronger. You want to get fitter from your cardio as well. You want to get more flexible, more mobile. Excuse me. We had I think it was Sharon or Dominica that mentioned it. They're both really good instructors on Pilates and yoga. Flexibility, mobility, like I said earlier, guys, don't ever forget about that one as well. Because if you've got niggles that are affecting you with your running or any training, if you're not kind of doing the stretching or the foam rolling or self-myofascial release or any of that stuff, then that's neglecting your goal of being fitter and stronger. Happiness, if you're not enjoying what you do, and loads of you said it in the comments there, you need to enjoy what you're doing. So happiness is very, very important as well for your growth. And confidence and clarity. So the more regular, the more you repeat things, the more you do it day in, day out, the more experience you get and the more confident you get in your ability to, as a client in terms of your fitness, the more confidence that you're going to get moving forward, that you can continue to grow with your training, and clarity, that you're really, really clear on what your goals are. It's a lifestyle choice. It's a lifestyle approach. It's going to be sustainable. You're going to keep it going over the long term. And finally, then on the trainer's perspective of growth, education, hugely important. We talked about it. You should always be constantly striving to update those qualifications and do new CPD courses, and stay on top of things. The content that you consume, those podcasts, the trainers that you listen to online, the trainers that you follow as well. I assume all trainers that are out there have a look at Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, the social channels as well, to see what other types of training methods are out there, because it's important for you to continue doing that for your own growth as well. Experience, hugely important. The more you do it, you're in, you're out, day in, day out. The more experience you have, the more confidence you have as a trainer, the more clients you train. So keep getting that experience and keep taking on clients and keep practicing all those new methods. Experience is a huge one for you as a trainer, because it'll give you that confidence to grow. And challenges, set yourselves challenges as a trainer, as a PT coach as well. I want to have X amount of clients in my gym when it reopens, or I want to train X amount of clients online, or I want to hit this amount of sales on a monthly basis. You need to set yourself challenges and milestones as well, because if you don't do that, you're just going to kind of stagnate as a trainer and you go through the motion. So you constantly have to stay on top of all of this stuff. It's really, really important, guys. Okay, I've pretty much used up the full hour there, guys. What I'll do now is, if there's any questions or anything on what we went through there today, I'm going to save that spreadsheet for you guys. Use it as a takeaway, add more stuff to it. As I said, it's a very, very basic way of looking at it, but it's a practical way, and it's easy for your clients to use. So if there's any questions, guys, I'll just leave the chat open for a few minutes, okay? And I'm going to be on for the next 30 or so minutes anyway, because I'm introducing our next guest speaker. But in the meantime, any questions, just pop them up there in the chat. And thank you very, very much for listening to me for the last 60 minutes or so.